Alright, so I start out by making this a layer on top. And what that'll do for me is I can now color this in. And I could do this in different ways, but I like doing it this way because of the simple fact I'm using the color as a true color. Some people will choose a multiply layer, which is really hard to kind of jump in between. So, you know, this way I'm still coloring, and if you look, see how it works? Since it's on top on a transparency, it's able to go right underneath that transparency black. So usually what I'll do is take colors, very flat colors, and I will block in my colors. If you're going to turn this into a tattoo for like your tattoo flash, probably the best way to do this is probably print it out and do it with color pencils. And then scan it back into the computer. I can give it a look like color pencils, but it's always going to look digital. And that's one of the things that you probably want to stay away from as far as a portfolio with tattoos. The digital stuff, I don't know, it just looks, as again, you know, clients are going to look at it and say, well, that looks weird. It looks like a sticker. So I'll show you what it's going to look like. But your first objective is to go in and take and flat out, that's what this is called, flat out all your colors. So you're going to choose, and look at the color I chose. Always choose within this range right here. Always. So if it's a green, you're going to choose a dark green. If it's a red, you're going to choose a dark red. And if you need to get that color back, I click on it over here, and I can now grab a hold of that color. Just remember that. So this takes a little bit of time. There's no doubt about it. I'm not going to be able to do all these little colors on the video because it'll take me forever as I talk. And it's very, very, very boring to watch probably. Especially, I know I have a couple lessons that are digital painting lessons from a few years back. And I can almost see the angst on the student's face, like, God, I gotta watch a 20-minute video. I'm like, well, you can watch as much as you want, but it's the technique that I wanted you to see. So I gotta watch it all, right? Yeah. So I will finish this hard out, and I would trust that you've probably colored a coloring book in your life. And that's exactly what you got to do for the first step, is flat out your colors. And almost done. Now you can get it halfway there. Check out this. Here's my paint bucket tool, and I can say all layers, and I can click, and I can get it all. You're like, why didn't you do that before? It's a trick, but you have to have all the lines connected. Like right here, it's going to fail. I guarantee it. Like if I chose a little bit of a brighter red, and click in this area. Ooh. Okay, so it worked out pretty good. Ah, there we go. It failed. So for areas like that, what I do is kind of patch the hole first, and then I go in and fill the area. The only bad thing about doing it this way is, if I hide this, you're going to see that it's going right up against the outline, and if I mess up, it's going to mess up. But if I did this, check this out. If I painted this whole rose red and then hid the top one, see how it's going underneath the outline. So it's doing a full bleed into it. bleeding into it. In graphics, we refer this as trapping. Alright, so on to the next video where, well, I'm going to color in the rest of this, flat colors like this, and then I'll turn on the video when I think there's something that needs to be said.